have the Jinx for wave clear with her rockets, and you have the Janna shield. Like, you don't need more wave clear.
I'm just wondering why Wobad has been staying away from Xerath this whole time. It didn't
There it is.
get picked or
Xerath.
banned first time around, and yeah, looks like we're going to see Wobad on his main champion here. So really great pickup for them. Simrim
Whoa!
gonna be the last
if
one
they
to
lock
lock.
in Kennen, I am gonna be mind boggled.
I'm not sure that's
they
what
need
they want.
AG.
Yeah, there is a lot of ability power on Rich Gang right now, and that's opening up a good opportunity for Victorious to stack resistances. So we'll have to see if that becomes a factor or not. Simran hovering over the Maokai. Going to be handing that one off to Jetstone if he makes a pick there. I haven't seen Jet play a lot of Maokai, so I don't see that being
I think
a deal
Cyan
here.
is okay. I actually think Gnar would be really good. Gnar does fairly well against Malphite.
Jet
with
plays
the
a lot of
W.
Gnar, so gonna go for
Lock
the
this
Scion here.
I don't know. This is really questionable. I think they gave Victoria's Secret the Janna again. I don't know why they keep on giving Domo Janna.
He's performed very well with it. It's
Yeah.
but you know you only got 3 bans, so what are you gonna do?
And they picked Corki away from John, but like they didn't get rid of Jinx, so they knew John was gonna play Jinx or Corki.
I don't think the Cho'Gath was that big of a deal to have put a ban on it. Yes, Wobad performed stellar with it, but I don't even think he planned on running it this time around. And you know, like we were saying last game, there's a lot of things you can do to mitigate the effects of that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens this time around. Wobad has his comfort pick champion there, and this mid lane matchup is going to be big. We'll see what Venom is able to bring to the table against him. We are headed into the delay, so Caster is going to take a short break as we load up. We'll see you guys back once we hit the rift. And we are back. Victorious Secret versus Rich Gang. Game number 3 in the best of 5 series, and we are even up. Hi, folks. My name is Anson. Thank you all for joining us today in our Season 1 Championship Finals. Appreciate everybody coming out. Joining me in the co-caster's chair is Wilson Jones. Wilson, glad to have you.
Hey, glad to be here. Hopefully I'll be able to stay for a little bit longer, but I'm probably going to hop out for the middle of this game.
Looks like Victoria's Secret setting up a cheese here in the bottom lane, and the red pings are coming out toward that bottom side. I don't think that anybody's going to take the bait, but you never know what could happen. We're at a minute 45 right now. As soon as this romp is dealt with, we're going to see Rich Gang come toward the bottom area. Of course, the Corki not going to have the Valkyrie level 1 to get out of that situation, and you've got 4 members stacked down here. Victoria's Secret spending a lot of time investing in this strategy, and the hook comes out onto Domo, and attempt foiled. Great spider sense from Simrim. He knew something was up there. Jaren going to have to use the teleport to get back to top lane, and that's going to leave Jet to farm up those Wraiths, Raptors. So he got exactly what he needed to get out of that situation. Didn't actually end up dying, though. Isn't it preferential for the...
Yeah, you clear it faster when you die. So, I don't know if he just... I guess, whatever.
Wasn't able to get that pulled off, and he'll head back up into lane. He's got the level 2 advantage. Does not have the level 2 advantage for now. So... both
so there's 2 wards on the blue side blue buff right now. Looking for a blue steal.
Possibly could see that coming through, and right now Rom is circling around that area. Doesn't find anything that he's looking for, though. Not sure what he's going to do with his early game. Rom known for taking that champion and aggressively applying him to ganks. But he usually depends on snowballing off of a good early gank, and hasn't made up his mind where to go quite yet. He's just hovering around the river, and Jarrett is coming into his blue buff area just as Rom decides to exit out. He's going to head back and try for the disrupt over there. Making his way around.
Jarrett is level 2 and Rom is level 3.
So Rom able to get the damage down onto it, and
he got it.
The smite is enough to take it.
He didn't even have
top
smite. Rom
laners and
didn't
mid
even have
laners.
smite. Jarrett just missed smite.
Wow. Rom's passive gets popped as Jaren joins the fight here. They're trying to knock him down as quickly as possible, but taking a lot of damage while doing it. Rom able to come back.
Make it out.
Wobad jumping in after him with the flash, not able to get it. Gets the stun off on the Lissandra, and the
first blood
goes over.
And Jet will be on Wobad with red buff.
That is huge for Rich Gang. Jaren's going to pick up another one here.
He almost got out. Lissandra almost got out.
Yeah, quite a bit of skirmishing going on in that river. That was a pretty early fight from both sides.
Yeah, that was some pretty crazy level 2s and 3s.
It's
fighting.
unique to see, because we don't see Victoria's Secret usually engaging that early on in the game. They
the hook.
Great hook on John with the flay backward. He's going to get him. Exhaust goes down onto John and ends up burning his flash to try to escape from that one, but it's just not going to be good enough. You know, that is one of the bad points for Victoria's Secret in this matchup is they have been consistently outclassed in this bottom lane every single game.
And I think the difference before was that Rich Gang wasn't able to get kills because they didn't have any reliable lockdown. Like, they had a Morgana, but as soon as that snare was gone, like, the Janna disengaged. But with Thresh, you have the hook and you have the Flay. And with Corki's burst potential, like, that's exactly what they need. They weren't getting kills in the other games, but now they're getting kills, and that is such a more dangerous lane. When you're getting kills, you have so much more pressure. And Jett with red buff is just bullying Jaren out of lane right now.
Really hard for him to keep up here. Jarret is coming in for a gank, but at
He
this
can
point,
2v1. Jett can 2v1. Yeah. With red buff, absolutely.
Jarret takes a lot of damage, and he's going to have to get out of there.
If that tower wasn't in the way, that E might have killed him. But
Wobad coming back to the mid lane. He hasn't had a lot of success so far. He's actually down in farm, believe it or not.
yeah, Lissandra is just shoving Wobad really, really hard. And Wobad's just trying to keep up. But Xerath's mana costs are ridiculously high on the Q. And so Wobad's just running out of mana so fast. And he's trying to poke as well as wave clear, so he's not actually getting the maximum amount of wave clear. But Lissandra's just forcing him to use spells to wave clear, and he's got no mana to actually win trades in lane.
Really good decision by Venom to apply that strategy there.
They got a gank going on bot lane by Raw on Zac.
We'll see. He's not quite ready to commit to it just yet. Notice a little skirmish going on between Venom and members of Victorious Secret. Decided to back off out of that one. Right now, Victorious is down 2,000 gold at 7.5 minutes, and we saw what happened to them game 1 when they're down that far this early in the game. We'll see if it makes a big difference going into the rest of the game. Jaren has equalized things a bit here in this top lane, and Jett's fallen low enough to where Jaren can actually grab the kill here. We'll see if he's able to pull it off.
Jett has to be careful of that Malphite burst with the ult.
He has a lot of burst damage, and he's known for getting in there with his ultimate and doing some risky things. A great hook onto John the Greatest, but Jarret is here. The teleport is coming through. Mashari is on the run. Jarret blew his hook. He doesn't have the hook, and that is going to do nothing more than just push Rich Gang back a bit. And look, they're already back up into the middle of the lane here. The 5-man squad is 100% here in the bottom lane, and Rich Gang's still not backing off of this one. I gotta question why they're not backing off. I gotta question why Victorious is not going after it. You see Venom hiding out near the red buff. Jarret just trying to mind his own business and clear, but he's gonna get interrupted here. Venom on it to him with Ram and Simrim, and that's gonna be lights out. The Terror Dive coming through here. Mashari ends up going on to John, and just not good times. That's going to leave Mashari and Simrim with plenty of opportunity to push this lane up and possibly grab a turret here. Dragon is available prior to the 10-minute mark so far in this tournament. Haven't seen either team really aggress onto that objective, but we'll see if it comes into play at some point later. Wobad again just trying to clear out these minions in the middle lane. He's very low on mana. Hasn't been able to consistently get his blue buff, and Jarret continues to fall behind in this jungle as well. He's still level 5. John the Greatest also sitting at level 5. Bit of ground to make up for Victorious Secret right here, and they are behind about 3,000 gold on top of it. Behind in gold, behind in levels, and not really able to perform very well so far in this early game. We'll see if things end up changing for them. Jarrett just doing what he can to try to clear these minions off, and Jet is making life as difficult for him as possible. Of course, for the first time in this matchup, we're seeing Jet actually out-farm Jaren. That is something we don't get to see very often here. Great damage from Mashari onto Victorious's bottom laners. Wobad spots out Venom with that ward. He's going to be able to get out of there just fine. Big difference in the farm coming through from the bottom lane, 47 to 92 in favor of Mashari. Meanwhile, Jet has got himself back up to 100%, and Jared has to be careful here. He is very low. Jared deciding to back up and head back to base off that one. A little bit of roam action coming through for Venom as he gets up into the jungle there. Got plenty of room to do that. Not a lot of defensive ward coverage coming from Victorious, and we saw this a lot in the last game. Before last. Rom going in on Wobad with the big gank here, and that's going to be the kill. He actually ends up taking that one away, so not as much gold going over to Venom as could have been, but Rom definitely knowing how to make use of the gold as well. That early gank going to open up the path to Dragon. Rich Gang on top of that objective and look to be able to take it out with no trouble at all. Jet's got to be careful here though. Jaren goes in hard with the ultimate and the knockup. Has to use his ultimate to get out of that situation. Mashari with the phosphorus bomb just able to completely outtrade John. John is just trying his best to remain as relevant as possible, but without the support of his team, he's just not able to do much in this bottom lane. He's really heavily gone in Rich Gang's favor over the past 3 games and just continues to do so. So that's going to be a liability for Victorious if they want to come out ahead. Right now, their 2 top performers are underperforming as well, that really being a detriment to him. Right now, Jaren has a kill, has a decent amount of farm, but unfortunately, Wobad's sitting behind in kills. He has managed to mount himself a halfway decent CS lead, sitting up by 11 at this stage, but that's not quite the amount of snowball that he's looking for. He's going to want to try to amp that up, but not a lot of opportunities presenting themselves quite yet in this series. Jaren with the flash at full health there. I'm not sure that's what he was meaning to do. A little bit of a misclick there, and that's going to be a very long cooldown on that summoner spell. Five-man squad from Rich Gang onto this turret. Going to take it down, but the wave clear from Victorious is plenty strong to keep that turret healthy enough to survive. Rich Gang sticking around, hoping to ride the wave on attempt number 2. A few members of Rich Gang circling around Victorious's jungle, trying to get an angle and maybe put some deep wards in here, possibly set up for a turret dive. Rom waiting in the brush there. He has the Raptor buff on him, so he knows that's not warded. Jarrett going in with a good anchor there, but Rom jumping over the wall gets the disengage. Victorious going to back off from that skirmish, and the stalemate continues. That middle lane just turning into a no man's land, and neither team really willing at this stage to risk a full-on confrontation. Looks like both mid laners are just going to go back to laning as these side lanes continue to get pushed out. Jaren finds himself Mashari, gets the ult down onto him, but no follow-up was available from the rest of his team, so they will not pick up a kill there. That's going to be huge if Rich Gang decide to team fight over the course of the next 90 seconds or so. Victorious will not have the Malphite ult available, and the Xerath ult is going to be used to target out a few members of Rich Gang. Jarrett uses the ultimate onto Mashari, and a great ult from Jet gets him right in the middle of that fight for the tower dive, and Jarrett and Wobad both go down. Things are looking Rich Gang's way at this stage. They are on top of these objectives, and really, I mean, look at that. Mashari ended up eating the rocket, and he was just hit points away from death there. Rom re-engaging, forces the flash from Domo, has to use the ult for the disengage as well. Rich Gang falling very low, has to disengage off of this one, and they're going to get out. But not before destroying everything leading up to the inhibitor turret in Victorious Secret's mid lane. Now, Victorious trying to come back in this one. Unfortunately, they're behind by 9,000 gold. It's going to be quite an uphill climb. Rich Gang haven't been on top of the dragons, though. Only one taken so far this game. And still quite early in the game. But at this stage, Victorious, with an inhibitor turret exposed, are running out of options. Victorious looking to get a good team fight win and try to turn things around with a little bit more gold in their pocket, but so far things haven't worked out for them. Looks like they've got the defensive wards down, though. That is going to help them big. Once Rich Gang starts rotating into their jungle, which they're doing here, and they've caught on to the fact that Victorious are now dropping a lot more defensive wards. You take a look at the offensive position, they're not putting anything down on that side of the map. They don't even plan to go there at this stage. The amount of aggression that Rich Gang are putting out has just been so much, and Jaren going in hard onto Simrim with the ult there, grabs the kill, and Venom is up next. This is what Victorious need. They pick up 2, and they're headed down mid lane. The Jet is trying to stop any attempt with this push up in the top lane, gets members of Victorious to back off of the middle lane. And it looks like they're setting their sights on the dragon area right now. Mashari alone by himself trying to solo that dragon. Has to back off once he sees members of Victorious. But still keeping the dragon going. Rom is there for the smite, secure. And second dragon of the game goes over to Rich Gang. Victorious falling behind in the dragons, but have been able to bring their kills back up a bit. Haven't died within the past few minutes. Rich Gang trying to do what they can to get their momentum going in a positive direction once again. Victorious just setting up in this brush to try to get a pick. Rich Gang have been up in their jungle quite a lot as right now, and Jarrett taking advantage of it. But Rom is over the wall, completely dives behind the back line, and Venom goes in, gets the support down. Wobad and John are left by themselves here, and John just gets blown up. Wobad's gonna pick up one, but he has to cancel and get out of that situation. Jaren is here to try to provide some disengage and successfully gets Rich Gang to back up off of that. But that is a 3-for-1 exchange in favor of Rich Gang, and things could hardly have gone better for them that team fight. Rich Gang able to pad a few losses here and there in order for some big gains, and they're looking at bottom turret as their next project here, but looks like Domo and Mashari are going to back off. They're not going to join the siege here, so that's going to let Victorious get their turret cleared out. Gonna want to position for some defensive wards here, clearing out that pink and trying to get Rich Gang's vision out of this jungle. Doing a really good job of it too. Victorious a lot more vision focused this time around. Very concerned about clearing out enemy vision in their own jungle and applying their own vision to the area as well. They've gotten a few good picks off it, but that last team fight did not go their way. They're going to have to be careful when they're starting these initiations. Rom has a keen sense of when to use his slingshot to get him in on the back line, and he just has a way of completely jumping over every other member on the team and just landing in the absolute worst spot for Victorious. Jumps over the wall onto Wobad. Gonna take him out here as Jarrett is the next target. Rich Gang pick up one and look to the inhibitor turret. They are slowly, methodically taking pieces away from Victoria's Secret, starving them of resources, locking them into this siege right here, and Rom is going in. Doesn't find what he's looking for here, but Jaren gets himself an AD carry. Venom is up next on the chopping block. He has to get out of there. Simran falling very low as well. And John the Greatest is on top of it with the flash. He gets excited, chasing after the other members of Rich Gang. Rom gets exhausted as he jumps in here, takes the Thresh Express out, and leaves Jet all by himself. Jet gets hit with the slow here. That is going to be big for him. He may actually end up falling. John deciding to back off of that chase, and Victorious get themselves a 2-for-0. Really good team fight for Victorious. Helped them stabilize a bit. They still haven't got their gold situation under control, and Rom is waiting in the wings here with the ult from Jet, the wombo combo there, but it wasn't enough. Several members of Victorious falling very low, but Jet is gonna end up going over to Wobad here, but Jarrett eats the hook. Jaren has to get out of here now. He's stepped back, tried to get some disengage for Jarrett, but wasn't enough, and ended up the flash, the rocket from Masari, going to pick up that double kill there. So a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Rich Gang as they set their sights on the first inhibitor of the game. There's John, Domo, and Wobad still available to try to break this siege, but this turret is falling very fast. It doesn't look like Victorious are going to be able to save. Rich Gang grabbing buffs on their way out. Once again, just leaving no resources behind for Victorious to take. It's been a very grueling 25 minutes for Victorious Secret, and they have scratched and clawed to try to get themselves back in this game, and this dragon just may be the attempt they're looking for. Whole 5-man squad is here, and with the sweeper, they scan the area. The ward ends up over the wall. Simran, the target of the entire force of Victorious. Rom jumps in to the line here. Venom onto the back line as well. Jaren going in hard onto Mashari, but he's by himself. Nobody's focusing Mashari down. Jarrett has to get out of this situation. Jet is very big. He's putting down a lot of damage and crowd control on two members of Victorious. Wobad and John stuck around much longer than they needed to, but Rom has to back off this one as well. His whole team split up at this point. Didn't stop him from going into the brush. He's going to clear out that pink ward and try for the inhibitor siege. Lots of open terrain here, lots of room to dodge skill shots. Wobad does not have his ultimate. John, still no ultimate either. Still no inhibitor going for Rich Gang, so bit of a consolation prize there for Victorious, but they're still behind in this game, and Dragon number 3 is on the table for Rich Gang. It doesn't look like anybody from Victorious is going to be able to respond quickly. So Dragon number 3 of the game at 26 minutes, that is a potential 40-41 minute Dragon number 5 for Rich Gang, if the game ends up lasting that long. Right now, Victorious showing signs of not being able to get to the late game. It'll depend on the actions Rich Gang take. They aren't known for being a team that presses their advantage. We'll see if they end up using the power that they have, the gold lead that they have, to get back in this with the aggression. Whereas Victorious still operating from behind here, but really not acting like it as a team. Both teams staring each other down. Rom jumping in onto Wobad here with the ultimate. Actually ends up getting pushed back by a great ultimate from Domo Senpai. Rom hoping to use that ult to separate the front line and back line of Victorious, and Domo just completely denied him that opportunity. Jarrett with the flash over the wall has to get out of there. 5 members of Rich Gang are up in that jungle. They are moving as a squad, just taking what they can take, where they can take it. This top lane turret is up next on the chopping block, and Rich Gang backing off toward the Baron area after they get what they want. Only one inner turret left on the blue side so far, and that's the bottom lane turret. Rich Gang sitting on a ward from Victorious that they were not able to spot out, so this bait is not going to take place. Victorious not going to venture up into that jungle area. They are waiting as a squad here, and they surprise Jet. Jet jumps into the middle of the fight, and looks like Jet ended up surprising Victorious. Jarrett gets caught out here. It looked like Victorious were setting up for a really good surprise, and just did not do anything when Jet came around the corner. That's going to leave this inhibitor to fall, and things just keep looking more and more grim for Victorious in this game. Looks like Rich Gang going to be able to secure this Baron. Not really a strong enough force from Victorious in the neighborhood yet, but this Baron is not going down as quickly as Rich Gang would have liked. Victorious has the opportunity for a steal here. They're going in. Jaren gets the double knockup. John on the back line with the Rockets gets a great snare onto Jet that's going to lock him in place and allow Victorious to pick up 2 kills. They're setting their sights on this Baron as well. The Rockets are coming over, but Jarrett on point with the smite there takes it for Victorious, and things just turned around big. Rich Gang have to back off of that situation. They don't get the Baron they were looking for. Very big grab for Victorious right there. Exactly what they needed to help them get back in this game. They're not quite back in it yet, though. They need a few more objectives, a few more good fights like that, and they will be definitely back into contention. But really good decision making from Victorious ended up getting them that Baron and those 2 kills, and Rich Gang have to watch out. They cannot disrespect the decision making and team fighting ability of Victoria's Secret, even though Victorious has been behind 8 to 10,000 gold all this game. They are still a formidable opponent and not one that you can make big mistakes like that around. John getting pinged out in the bottom lane. Domo gets found by 3 members, uses the tornado for the disengage. That's going to allow him to survive that, but Simran was ready with the hook. Very fortunate for Domo. He ended up making it out of that one. The red ping's coming across. They spot out where Victorious are at. We'll see if the rest of Rich Gang end up following up on that one. Victorious doing what they can to hang on until late game. They're trying to stretch things out as much as they can. A flash over the wall from Simran. He ended up getting spotted by a full force of Victorious Secret members. Victorious using the speed shrine here to bully Rich Gang away from the Dragon Pit area. Looks like Dragon going to be spawning, and Victorious have positioned themselves very well to end up taking it. The pings are going across for that top lane turret, though. With the empowered recall, looks like they're going to be able to get back to base quick enough. Simran getting caught here. The flash ult from Janna was able to push him back. Kill ends up going over John the Greatest. But look at this. Jaren in the middle of a huge squad. The rocket missed everybody, unfortunately, for Victorious. That was huge, but John is still trying to play cleanup crew. The pullback comes from Jarrett and gives John the peel he needs. He's going to be able to, might not be able to. These minions are tearing him in half here, and Jarrett gets the shutdown onto Rom. A lot of things going Victorious Secret's way right now. If they can keep this going, if they can stretch things out and only lose little bits here and there, they might have enough of their base left intact to mount a comeback. They've taken their first dragon of the game. That denied a critical 4th dragon to Rich Gang, and Rich Gang will not be able to get that 5th dragon opportunity for a good time now. Probably around the 45-minute mark or so at the earliest. And Victorious Secret showing signs of coming back. By the time we hit that mark, they may be quite a bit stronger.
Blue team's inhibitor is respawning soon.
Inhibitor coming back up for Victorious. Simran ends up getting caught here, and Wobad putting the damage down onto him, pops the ult, gets one, doesn't even need 2 and 3. Rest of Rich Gang deciding to get out of there after losing their support. That is going to be big for them, and with the power play now, Victorious might decide to make something happen here, but Rom gets in the middle of the action. John firing rockets from the back line. Nobody is on top of him. He's just getting free damage here. Everybody, Rich Gang, on the run. Great damage from Wobad here. He doesn't have the ultimate to clean that up, but with Rich Gang as low as they are, they're not going to be able to defend this turret. Jet's certainly going to try with the help of Mashari from the side here, but he's getting zoned out by John and Wobad. Domo gets the ult off there, but he didn't actually end up hitting anybody with the hook. Great hook from Simran. Jaren going in hard onto the back line there. Rom gets targeted down here, did not have the passive to keep him available. John gets excited. He's going in. Rest of Rich Gang deciding to back off. Venom and Simran continuing this push mid lane though. Victorious finding a lot of success in their fights, but that one was a little bit choppy. Still, they've continued to stop the gold lead from Rich Gang, set at about 8,000 for the past 7-8 minutes or so. Victorious still looking to turn things around in their direction though, but at 36 minutes in, that goal difference not amounting to as much as it did 15 minutes ago. Victorious have shown they are not afraid to fight things out, and a win at this stage would be huge for them. Either team wanting the momentum of getting 2 games under their belt. Mashari trying to push this turret out. Jarrett responding. Runs into 4 members of Rich Gang and just gets destroyed. That's going to allow Rich Gang a lot of opportunity here. They're going for the wave clear to get these wards out of Victorious's jungle so they can continue with this domination. Now they've got the power play. They're going into open territory here and going to grab themselves an inhibitor if Victorious aren't able to push them back. Right now they're blowing everything they can to try to keep this inhibitor alive, and it looks like it's working. Rom going in hard onto John here, and John actually misses Jet's ultimate. The Scion ult not going to hit him there, and catches the Thresh Express, gets up out of there, but the inhibitor does end up falling. Nobody from Victorious ends up going down for that fight. Nobody from Rich Gang, for that matter, either. It looks like Rich Gang are going to have to back up, though, and with 20 seconds till the Dragon, this could be a good opportunity for Victoria's Secret.
am Dracula.
Hi, I'm Peaches and I'll be co-casting this match. Nice to be here.
30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
Show you you're nothing but a whiskey delta. That just goes to show you you're nothing but a whiskey delta. That just goes to show you you're nothing but a whiskey delta.
And we are back into the action. House Party 5v5's championship tournament finals. Rich Gang on the blue side, Victorious Secret on the red side. Rich Gang so far able to pull ahead and grab 2 wins. Victorious only grabbed 1. Interestingly enough, every victory this best of 5 has come from the team on the red side of the map. We'll see if Victorious is able to come through with a win of their own here and continue that trend. Of course, Rich Gang looking to break it and seal the deal. A victory in this match would give them the tournament. Victorious performed very well all season long in the group stage, beating out every team but Rich Gang. Rich Gang was able to hand them their only loss of the season, and at this point they are operating in full form. Game 2 of the event going handily over to Victorious Secret though, so Victorious showing they're plenty capable of making something work when they're operating on all cylinders. We'll see how this jungle fiddlesticks ends up working out for Jaren. He's thrown it into the jungle one time before and was able to do pretty good with it. Whereas Jarrett is taking his Malzahar into the middle lane, so we've got a little bit of a swap up going on the Victorious side. Great harass coming out from Venom. Venom was able to get his RE back this time around. Victorious more concerned in favoring a Zac ban. Did not want to see the Zac come into play this time around. All in all, really good pickups for Rich Gang. They were able to get the Malphite away from Jaren. Also able to take the Vi into the jungle. Vi is such a strong counter jungler type opponent, and Jaren getting pieces bent off him as he tried to clear his red buff out. One of the big strengths of a Vi is their ability to get in there and engage. Jarrett has to flash away from Venom here. The Ignite ticking down is not going to take him out. He's going to be safe, but plenty of summoners getting blown for that one. 2 flashes. 3 flashes on cooldown after that extended series of engagements. Wobad and Jet back at it again for the 4th time tonight. This matchup in the top lane has gone either way. Jet able to get the upper hand on Wobad quite a few times, but at this point Wobad sitting on a champion that's got a lot of damage potential, a lot of push potential, and it looks like Jet's going to have to resort to farming underneath his turret for the majority of the game. That depends on whether or not Rom pays any attention. Up top, though, pre-6, Wobad is a good target, but Wobad approaching level 6 very quickly. He's going to be able to skirt out of any type of lockdown that Rom will provide with his Vi. Rom circling around toward that Tribrush area, gets the ward down, and Jaren spots it out with the Raptor buff there, so that's going to be cleared as quickly as it was put down. Warning pings spotting Jarrett out as he tries to roam up there. He's going to run into Venom. On his way back, eats the charm here and the double orb from over the wall. Jarrett deciding to take the long way around after that. Jaren coming in for the gank here, finds Jet, gets the fear onto him. The slow will go down. The drain is ticking away, and Jet has to use his ultimate to get to safety underneath the turret there. So all in all, a win for Victorious up top. But not too much gain. Jarrett able to get onto this turret and put some damage down there during Venom's absence. Mashari continuing his ability to out-farm and out-trade John down in this bottom lane. Got a 20 CS lead at 8 minutes in, so definitely continuing his train of success. John was able to get the Corki for this game, though. That is a champion he has performed very well with in the past. Rom waiting in this bush here, gets the stun. The flash buckshot from Mashari is not going to be enough to pick that one up, and John gets out with just a Valkyrie here. Turret definitely going to stay exposed, and it looks like Rich Gang want to make something happen. Jarrett getting jumped on by Venom. Venom just not able to put out enough damage to make something happen there. He actually skirted within tower range. I'm surprised Jarrett did not use his ultimate on him to lock him down for that crazy tower damage. A bit of a misstep by Venom, but a little bit of a missed opportunity by Jarrett as well. Jet going in onto Wobad, grabs first blood in a solo exchange. Wobad not having the easiest time up top. Having to transition from the middle lane to the top lane. Victorious trying to mix things up a little bit and do something different. Already, they've got themselves up by 1,000 gold. Jaren is over the wall, trying to look for an in here. He has his level 6. He has the surprise ultimate from over the wall. If Mashari and Simran push up far enough, here we go. He's going in with the flash, gets the fear off. The stun from Annie gonna lock him down, and it looks like Domo not gonna be able. No, the hook just barely misses there, and a unsuccessful gank. Ultimates, summoners blown on the Victorious side. A lot was wagered on the outcome of that fight. And Simran's very close. Domo throws the gate down, locks him in with the flay, and Jaren, John, gonna put the damage down. John picks up that kill. Mashari's got to get out of here. Rom going in hard onto Wobad. Wobad pops the ultimate and turns around, grabs some damage onto him, but he's taking way too much, has to back up. Venom coming in bottom now for the gank. John is onto him, but Venom's able to pick up the kill on Domo. That's going to send him back into the penalty box there, but Jarrett plenty able to make up for the lack of Venom mid and decides to take a turret. Jaren trying his best to get this turret protected. Jet and Rom able to put a lot of damage onto it. They're actually going to put plenty of damage down onto him. Kill goes over to Jet there as Victorious Secret
Red team's turret has been
continues to get bested here. 2,000 gold in favor of Rich Gang at this point. Dragon is up and available. Neither team deciding to go for that objective just quite yet. Past the 12-minute mark. Both teams getting some good vision of that pit area. Not wanting to let either one get the upper hand at this point. Just not willing to risk it. Jaren has not had a lot of luck on his fiddlesticks this time around. Domo getting up in Mashari's face there, but quickly exits stage left. John the Great is down by about 30 CS at this stage. Things not looking very well for him in the bottom lane. Hook from Domo just short. It's going to leave Rom to get out. Three and one so far in favor of Rich Gang as they look to close out this series with a 3-1 victory. Wobad taking a lot of damage thanks to Jetstone here. Jet, such a deep champion pool. He has had success with more champions than any two members of any other team this season. Jet gets found out in the middle of this jungle. That's bad news for him. Uses the ultimate to escape over the wall, though, but the axe not going to hit him there. He might have an escape avenue. Jarrett going in, gets the dot down onto him, and with the auto attacks, that's going to take it out. Rich Gang transitioning over toward the dragon area, though. None of Victorious are within range to contest quite yet, and Rom is bringing this one down quite easily. Domo falling very low here. John uses the Valkyrie to get over the wall. The exhaust was on to Venom. He wasn't able to get anything there. Simrim uses the Tibbers ult, stun ult, to disengage here, but Wobad is on his heels. One more axe. Not going to happen, though. Jarrett trying to get a piece of Simrim here. Bites off more than he can chew, though. Auto attacks from Mashari going to chase him back. And Victorious Secret look to reposition themselves. Jarrett getting some good wave clear here, helping to keep his turret safe from harm. Victorious evening things up now. They're dead even in kills and have bridged the gold gap as they start to make their comeback into this game. We'll see how far Rich Gang want to let them make it, though. John the Greatest still behind on his build. Right now, Mashari heading back to base, going to buy that Infinity Edge. Yep, puts that edge in his pocket. He's got an Avarice Blade and a pair of boots on top of it. Meanwhile, John has not completed his Trinity Force. Only has one piece of it. He ended up dumping a Vampiric Scepter on top of that. So that's going to delay that mid-game power spike even further. And it could be bad news for Victorious. Rom getting a little minion blocked there, wasn't able to get the Q4. Jarrett escaping to the safety of his turret. He'll remain plenty safe there for now, but Domo going in with the flash, throws the gate down. Simrim falling very low here. Jaren is on top of that, gets the drain down onto Mashari. Mashari's got to back up out of this one, but Jet using teleport to get himself into the middle of the fight. John is trying to punish him for it, but at this point, too many members of Rich Gang alive and able to put damage back. He's going to have to get behind that turret. Venom bringing up the left-hand flank here. Great Pink Ward going to spot him out before he can wreak any havoc. That lets John hang back far enough for safety. Wobad, meanwhile, reciprocating for Victorious, getting on top of this turret. Simrim not going to be able to do enough to discourage him away from it. Jarrett steady pushing away in this mid lane. The split push has been huge for Victorious here. Jarrett gets the ult down onto Venom with the Ignite ticking away. He almost grabs it, but Jet and Simrim both there to provide support. Victoria's Secret looking to show what they can do in this middle stage of the game. Trinity Force has been completed onto John the Greatest, so he's going to be looking to abuse that mid-game power spike as much as possible, throw some rocket downs. He's coming in from the side though. Rom finds him out here, turns on the Gatling gun with the auto attacks, and the Phosphorus Bomb jumps over, grabs the kill there. In between, Jet and Simrim, though, has to back out. Jet gets exhausted. The flay backward going to keep him into position, but Tibbers is blocking the rockets, and the ult from Mashari, and Jet ends up cleaning house. Wobad has to get out. He ends up getting exhausted on his way back to the turret. Jet is on top of him, and Jarrett is here to try to save his teammate. Looks like he was successful in that venture, and Victorious not finding what they were looking for. End up having to concede quite a few kills in that team fight. A great ultimate from Jetstone, along with Mashari. Buckshot, his collateral damage just cleaned up that fight. It was looking so good for Victorious, and Rich Gang just stole it right out from under him. Rich Gang transitioning toward the blue buff. Hook back from Victorious, but Jarrett ended up eating a charm there. He was not able to burst the blue buff down. Venom ends up picking that one up, but it's 10 seconds to Dragon. Both of these teams are looking plenty ready to fight, and we could see a big one here. Victorious have control of Scuttle Crab, and it looks like Rich Gang are backing off. Mashari not wanting to stick around for this fight, but Rom, Jet, and Simrim trying to make a go of it. A great hook from Domo locks Rom into place along with the ult from Jarrett, and just end up deleting Rom from that fight. Big miscommunication there from Rich Gang. They went in as a three-man squad without two members of their team and just walked straight into a hook from Domo. Very bad news for Rich Gang. It's going to even things up in Dragons. going to allow Victoria's Secret to get a little closer to evening things out here. They're only 1,500 gold behind at this stage. With 1-1 in dragons and turrets down all over the map, things are looking very close in this game 4 of the series. If Victorious keeps it up, we could see a game 5. Victoria's Secret sitting on a lot of pick potential here. They're going to want to get there as aggressively as possible. Any hook opportunity for Domo. Anytime Jarrett can just snag a roaming member of Rich Gang out with his ultimate, provided Victorious are sticking together, could be really bad news for Rich Gang. Of course, it's all going to be dependent on the vision there. Vision being a big factor here, and Victorious doing exactly what they needed to. Grab themselves a Malphite for their troubles. Jet just walked up into that one. No ward coverage in that brush. Wanted to scout it out and ended up eating a hook from Domo. Zimmerman doing what he can to try to clear that vision out. But Victorious are just on top of things. Zimmerman flashes in with the Tibbers, and Jarrett is gone. Rom with the ultimate there. Might not have even needed that ultimate to secure that kill, but just deleted him from the face of the map. That's going to give Rich Gang plenty of opportunity to spread up into this top side of the map. Going to go past the river and drop some wards down for protection for themselves. Definitely don't want to get spotted out, caught by themselves. Rom using the smite on the wolves there just as a roaming ward. Rich Gang transitioning over to this bottom lane turret. You've got Wobad, Domo, and John here to try to fend them off. And the wave clear looks to be doing its job. Wobad chucking axes at the back side of Mashari here, trying to keep him locked down and do damage, but they run into a 4-man squad in that brush. Just not good placement there. And Venom is in the back line here. Jarrett locks him down though, but Jet is on top of it with the Cataclysm. Mashari ends up picking up the quadra kill with the unstoppable force from Jet there. Another great wombo combo. Jet came in with the ultimate. Mashari threw the buckshot and the collateral damage, picked one up for himself, and they look to set their sights on the very last pieces of Victorious's base. This could be the end for Victorious. So a great hook from Domo with the flay backward. Going to take Jet out of the fight and allow the siege to be broken. Rich Gang retreating on their heels here, and Victorious saved themselves an inhibitor turret. Victorious going to make life a little bit harder, or Rich Gang going to make life a little bit harder for Victorious on their way back through the jungle, snagging that blue buff. That's going to deny some mana regeneration and cooldown to Jaren. Fiddlestick's one of those champions that really enjoys cooldown, and right now not sitting on any cooldown items except for the Ranger's Trailblazer, that Magus enchantment providing 20% cooldown reduction, so that's going to help pad that loss a little bit. Rom ends up running into Victorious. They play the waiting game once again and are rewarded for their efforts. All it takes is a hook from Domo and an ult from Jarrett, and they ended up deleting a member of the opposing team from the map here. Jet and Wobad going at it here. The epic battle continues. Wobad just not doing any damage to Jet at all. Jaren using the ultimate to get some distance here. Runs into Venom. Has to use the hourglass. Not going to buy him any more than just a few seconds. The dragon does go over, and the hook onto Venom. Going to be another pickup. Domo is on point with the hooks. Domo trying to hook his way to a Season 1 championship here and doing a hell of a job at it. Will it be enough, though? Victorious have got themselves back down into a hole. 3,500 gold at 27 minutes in, but it is still very close. Victorious have yet to come back from a losing score this set. End up taking themselves a kill here, grab a second one. Not before Mashari grabs a kill, though. A lot of gold on to Mashari. He's 10-1. 12,500 gold to John the Greatest, 10,000. Difference of a whole core item, and Jarrett just gets dumpstered here. Jet catches him sleeping on the turret and grabs a kill for his efforts. Jarrett's death, bad news for Victorious Secret. Victorious can't afford to give up any more opportunities, can't afford to make any more mistakes. They need to play methodically and perfectly from here on out if they want to stay in this series. Rom gets a free pass on that invade there, going to skate over the wall with his Q. That's going to leave Rich Gang to push things out in this middle lane and try to take out a few more objectives. Then Victorious so far making it difficult for Rich Gang to grab these objectives. They've kept their towers pretty safe so far. Several attempts being snuffed out by the hooks from Delmo. Rich Gang coming close quite a few times, though. Was able to get some damage down onto the bottom lane inhibitor turret. But at this stage in the game, it is regenerating. Still plenty within reach. Rom finds Jarrett with the ultimate there, but gets locked down. Team not in range to provide support, and that is the danger going Trinity Force when behind on Vi. He just got absolutely melted. That fight was not able to survive past the initial initiation. Victorious regrouping, trying to get onto this middle lane turret here and gain some ground for all the kills they bought themselves here in the past few minutes. Doesn't look like Rich Gang want to make that easy for them, though. They've stacked themselves 4 deep here with the Ahri and the Graves, able to clear out anything Victorious have sent their way so far, and looks like Rich Gang are pinging out the Baron area. We could actually see a Baron attempt at this stage. They are going for it, not even stopping to wait for Rom to bring up the backside here and join his team, just going straight onto this Baron, and there is absolutely no vision from Victorious Secret. Rich Gang end up taking that objective uncontested, and that is going to be big for them. A lot of the wave clear from Victorious going to be negated by the buffing effect of that Baron. good line of wards being put out by Rich Gang. You can see just a virtual wall of vision cutting a straight line across the map on into both sides of Victorious's jungle. Simrim flashing in after Jarrett. The lockdown coming from Rom here, and that is going to be a dead mid laner. Wobad makes it out thanks to his ultimate here, but the flash initiation from Simrim just was too strong for Jarrett to be able to handle. He ended up flashing away from that situation, but the advantage ended up going to the aggressor there.
Red team's turret has been
Domo trying to get his hook on, ends up getting charmed across the wall there. That is not good news for Victorious. Rich Gang putting this siege on, getting up to the turret. We'll see if Victorious have enough wave clear to defend against it, but right now these minions are just plugging away, and Victorious having a little trouble clearing them out while contending with the poke that's being thrown at them by Rich Gang. Still doing a fairly good job of it. Full 5-man squad not able to take that turret out. It looks like Rich Gang are rotating. Dragon a hotly contested objective in this game. Rich Gang looking to take their second of the game. Venom finds Jaren out in the middle of the jungle here and uses the Spirit Rush to get within range, so he will grab himself a kill and leave Victorious a man down. Victorious continues to drop one man at a time here and there, and it is not doing well for them as they continue to try to fight this siege off. Zimmer meets a good amount of damage from the back, but John just absolutely destroyed, and this could be it. Wobad is in the middle of the fight here, trying to make something happen. Domo eating a lot of damage from Venom. The turret ticking away, and the ace 5-0 quadra kill going over to Mashari. If you would have told me at the beginning of the season the guy known as Apricot would be carrying this hard in the final game of the championship finals, I would have told you were crazy. Jaren jumping in, grabs the shutdown here. Is he going to be able to save his team? Pops the Zhonya's here. Not going to be enough. That's at least a Nexus turret. We've got mere seconds on the rest of Victoria's Secret. Will they be able to make it happen here? Venom's going to eat it. John grabs the kill there, uses the Valkyrie to get in on that one. Won't be able to chase down the rest of Rich Gang, but Wobad is on top of that. He's got the speed boost. He's chasing after Simrim. Simrim's got absolutely nowhere to go. Wobad missing with an axe there, but uses it to cut off Simrim and grabs the kill. At this point, Victorious are just fighting back as hard as they can. They've lost an inhibitor. They've lost a Nexus turret. That is huge. Other Nexus turret at 50% right now. Bottom lane turret slowly regaining what it can. John not really a big factor at that last fight, getting taken down early, and that really allowed Rich Gang to just open up Victorious's base. Right now it is cracked in half and barely limping along. Victorious still in this. As the game continues to stretch on, all they need is that one perfect team fight and a final push down mid. Rich Gang do not want to let them have that opportunity, but Rom finds again the 3-man squad of Jarrett, John, and Domo, and they just take him out of that fight completely. Mashari is on to Domo Senpai. The hook misses. The flame misses. The box doesn't hit anything, and he is gone. Victorious, a man down now. They do not have their all-star hooker. "25 seconds until Domo comes back in this. Can Rich Gang pull off the last siege here? The turret is ticking away. The super minions are trying to do their work. Victorious desperately pushing out these minions, getting a lot of damage here. The flash initiate from Simran onto John completely takes him out. Jarrett wounded in the back line, trying to get as much damage as he can. Jaren with his ultimate has to flash after the Zanya. Another member of Victorious taken down. Jarrett so low. The flash from Jet, the hook from Domo, gonna keep him alive though, and Jaren will pick that one up, but Mashari is plugging away at this Nexus turret. It is on its last leg here, as is Victoria's Secret. They have not gone down without a fight. They are still in this, but things are just looking grim, whereas another team may have given up at this stage. Victoria's Secret still trying to hold it together, still holding out hope of a victory here and moving on to Game 5. Rich Gang want to close this out right now. They've got Victoria's Secret on the ropes. Everything is on the line here. All they need is one final push, and at every step, Victorious have denied them that. They have come inches from victory, only to be snuffed out by Victorious coming back with just seconds to spare. Baron is back up. Back live now, and Rich Gang do not want to let that objective out of their sight. Victoria's Secret deciding they don't have the resources to commit to challenging Rich Gang, and they're going to have to deal with Rich Gang having that buff on the next time they push into this base. It could be huge. Only one Nexus turret remains.
Red team's inhibitors respawning soon.
Jet turns on the afterburners, goes in with a great ultimate, separating members of Victoria's Secret. Jarrett going to be the next one to fall. Domo's in the back line. John the Greatest already out of this fight. Jaren is left by himself. Can't make it happen. And that is it, folks. It is all over. House Party 5v5 Season 1 is complete. Congratulations, Rich Gang. #1 team for Season 1.
What? How's it going?
Man, Mark. How's it going, Jet?
What's up? Why were we gonna move here?
Alright, I am here with the victorious members of Rich Gang. Post-game
Half of
interview.
them aren't even victorious?
Yeah, you got the wrong people answered.
I'm here with Rich Gang. We got the Rich Gang. You are victorious.
We need to get Simrim and
Simram.
Mashari?
Yeah, Mashari.
Hello?
hello.
Venom doesn't use
What's-
TeamSpeak, so.
What's going on?
All right, so we're
Post-game
here
interview.
with the Season 1 champions. Guys, how do you feel
Yeah.
about your performance?
Oh,
Pretty good. Well, we got
Okay.
fucked up because of our ADC. Oh, you're streaming. Fuck. Our ADC. First of all, one play got banned. Then the other ADC was like not showing up. Like I even texted him.
Completely MIA.
So like we were like hoping to cheese them and stuff. That's why I went ADC, and I went ADC and dumpster John the greatest. I'll say it.
Wow.
Shots fired, shots
So
fired.
him, dude.
Humble
Yeah.
victory.
That's his problem because he didn't take any armor as an ADC. I'll just say that. Like ADCs need armor, and I'm not sure about all the hype he had.
I want to say one thing. Fuck Cho'Gath.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
That second game with Cho'Gath was so much cancer.
After we started banning it, it went
Our-
back to
Three and a
whatever.
half thousand
Our mid laner couldn't-
HP.
Yeah, our mid laner
yeah.
couldn't handle. Like we told him to play safe, then he went like super safe. He bought like, what did he buy first game?
He bought like
I
a
don't
lot of ages and
Yeah,
and stuff
he,
like
bought, he
that.
bought a lot of Aegis, Rileys, and freaking Athenes. So yeah, like we told him just play safe because Robot is like their main player. Well, he told me before he left that Jared played a better Malzahar than Robot, which I was surprised, but yeah.
Well, when you're on your main champion, you're on your main champion. So
Yeah.
there you go.
He was like the first game. I told him that he's a diamond guy, so play carefully. Then he just did like flashy plays and stuff. But like we told him it's a silver in the fourth game. I mean, he thought Jared was a Smurf because like Jared played super good. We just told him that he made Malzahar. That's why. And we predicted they're gonna like last game. We predicted they're gonna go either Fiddle or Rek'Sai, because I know that Warbat plays a lot of Rek'Sai. Those are his accounts. I'm not sure. Like we have 3 accounts who we think are Warbat, and we saw all their champion picks. Like I think we won most games by picks and bans, except
Yeah.
the second game where we lost, or third.
The second game we
You
lost.
guys had
the
a-
second game was with the Cho'Gath, and their team was so tanky we couldn't deal with it.
You guys had
Like,
a
we were
really good
surprised.
pick and ban phase. Yeah, I think you guys were on top of that. What was your strategy going into this as far as team composition goes? Did you guys have specific ideas that you wanted to carve out, or did you just play it by ear?
Like, at first we wanted to go Jinx and Janna, but that was with Pixonic, not with me, as ADC. So, like, I'm not that good with Jinx in laning phase, so we couldn't pick it. So we were like, okay, we're gonna give John his best champion, but we need to focus him. Like, we focused bot lane and top lane. We told our mid laner to play safe. Like, our whole plan got changed 1 hour or 2 hours before the game because Pixonic wasn't responding. So we had to, like, change everything.
Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, it was really annoying getting banned out. 2 bans each game after
Yeah.
game 1. My Aurelia and Rumble were both out of existence the entire time. But
They
I mean,
focused a
rotating
lot on
onto,
you.
like the other tankier tops was pretty
Yeah.
fun. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Like, I thought they were gonna ban Cassiopeia first game. Like, we were sure I'm not going mid because of, Guava doesn't play mid. Guava doesn't play ADC. So we were like, they're gonna ban Cassiopeia, so we can cheese them first game. Like, we have more picks and stuff. But they didn't ban Cassiopeia. And, like, we got fucked because, like, our mid laner doesn't play a lot of champions. Like, you guys saw that perhaps. Like, he plays only assassins. But assassins aren't that good anymore. That's why he just had Ahri where he did really good.
Sure. So you guys are the champs for season 1.
Hype.
Heck yeah.
number one.
Underdogs
Proud to
all
be
season,
here.
voted to lose almost every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were pretty much the underdogs every week.
And I gotta say,
I don't understand why everyone kept betting against us. That was like Victoria's Secret is the only game that we dropped a match to.
I
No,
know, we
Soul
won
Team
against
6 beat
them.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Soul Team 6, and the game from first week where I wasn't
Yeah,
on the
where
team.
Apricot and I weren't on the team at the time.
Yeah, we had like 2 subs that weekend.
Yeah, that was my
or
first
something.
game with the team.
well, I think that Mashari should consider going AD carry next season. I had
girl.
no idea that
I,
you could.
yeah,
Range
everyone
carry.
is like, everyone is like BMing me because like I'm not playing jungle like this season. So people were like, "You're only a jungle main." I used to main ADC before jungle. No one knew this. Like I told my team, they didn't like believe me at first. After that first game, like they believed me. Thank you guys.
I don't want you to
Yeah,
play
the
jungle.
The Cho Janna outplay was pretty nice. Just gonna say that.
Well, laning phase was cancer with Simmer.
Oh my god. Yeah,
See-
we solo killed them one game. Come on.
Well,
They did put a lot of pressure bot. there.
yeah. I should get like a prize because I'm the only person who stand up with Simmer. Freaking Ben left, one pull.
God damn it.
Freaking Big Sonic left too.
No, everyone,
Holy
that one
shit.
loves me.
Well, you
Well,
guys.
I don't have like a good champion pool. That's the problem. Like, good thing they didn't ban Graves, or we would have been doing so bad. The
They'd
last
rather
game.
ban my Zac sad face.
My Aurelion Rumble every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Zac ban was pretty important for them. I think they saw the power of Zac and just definitely didn't
Yeah.
want to have you jumping into the midline. Just there were a lot of times, Rom, where your slingshots were just dead on. It was you landed directly between the front line and the back line, and then you just proceed to ult all over the back
Yeah.
line, and that was just disaster for them. And I think the biggest thing that you guys did right was winning bottom lane every single game, shutting down John the Greatest, shutting
Yeah.
down their entire engine that they're working on around him, and just carrying that into the later stages of the game. So 3-1, Rich Gang, number 1 House Party 5v5 in North America and the world.
Yeah. So does that mean there's an EU one? Instance?
Well,
Because you said NA.
I said NA and the world,
Yeah.
but you gotta say
We're the best.
you gotta say
We're
you
the
gotta say best
we're the
number 1
best,
NA.
Well, I can't say any more. I'm the best.
You guys are House Party 5v5 world champions. That is true.
Hey.
Hey, Lamau.
So when am I getting my RP?
Shout out to Peaches, our coach.
All right,
Put
guys.
too much time into this shit.
I'm gonna kick y'all out of my admin room now. Thank you for playing this season,
Now,
and congratulations on your prize.
Thank you.
Thanks.
thank you.
Rest
Shout out
in
to
peace, everyone.
Peaches. Peaches.
Shout out
Peaches.
to myself.
Rup.
All right, folks. Time for a personal message here. Gonna take just a short break to turn this on. Anyhow, guys, you stuck with me. You made it happen. You showed up week after week and poured your heart and souls into these games. And I just can't say thank you enough. From the bottom of my heart, you guys made this happen. And every one of you that showed up every week and gave it all you had, come back next season. You guys are more than welcome and would be happy to have you. This has been just a big dream of mine to be able to do something on a grand scale such as this and just have everybody be as involved as you guys are. You post on the subreddit, you show up and play the games, you trash talk each other, you sit there and theory camp and try to think tank all these matches through as to how's it going to play out and how can we perform our best. Just by you guys coming out and doing that every week, it means the world to me. So thank you once again. And the sign up form is live right now for those of y'all that don't know. Head to houseparty5v5.com or the subreddit. It's posted in both places. You can log in and submit an application and join season 2. So those of y'all that have been sitting on the sidelines watching this thing unfold, you want to get on a team, join. We'll be happy to put your name down, add you to the draft pool, and we'll go from here. We've got some big changes coming in season 2, some big announcements that we're going to be making here in the coming days. Of course, you guys already know Jarrett and Wilson Jones both are transitioning over to support staff. They will be a big part of House Party 5v5 Season 2, and that frees up 2 more spots for players to play. So get your applications in, guys, and we'll see you all for the draft next Saturday. We're going to get right into this. No breaks at all. I want to keep this hype train going. Thanks again, everybody, and I will see you all next week.